Hi, welcome to Talkin' Business. I'm Joe Catrambone, CEO of Stuart Martin County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm honored today to have our Martin County Tourism Development Director.
Tourism Director.
Tourism Director, Narissa Okie. And Narissa, I know you're busy, and I really appreciate you taking your time to drive up here to across the bridge.
Across the bridge. I appreciate the invite. Yeah, I really appreciate the invite.
It's my pleasure, and I'm so happy that you agreed to join me today. So what I normally do is, just so our viewers and even for my own edification, is so we're a transient state and certainly a transient community. So I like to find out from people, what brought you to Martin County and when?
The position actually brought me to Martin County, and that was 8 years ago. So it was interesting. My poor husband, he's a saint. We had a 3-year plan to move to Florida because we'd been in Atlanta for 16 years. I was the director of research for the Georgia Department of Economic Development in the tourism section. And I'm from the islands originally. So we'd been in Atlanta for 16 years, and you're completely landlocked. And so we had taken a vacation to visit my aunt who lives on the west coast of Florida, Indian Rock Springs Beach. And we were walking along the beach, and I said, what are we doing? We're just surviving. We'd had snowpocalypse. I had spent the night in the car with my then 7-year-old because Atlanta cannot handle snow, so it had completely shut down. And I said, even if you have the worst day ever, if you can just get to the beach, it's so much better.
Oh, it makes you
I mean, there's studies on it. So we had a 3-year plan, and then all of a sudden I started applying, and my husband's like, wait a minute, we had 3-year plan here. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my feelers out there. I've been with the state for 13 years. My skills are rusty. Anyway, our 3-year plan became 3 months, and we moved down here sight unseen.
Well, we're grateful and thankful that you did. So let me give you a little bit of history. I got here in '89, and we didn't have a tourism director per se. In fact, I'm trying to remember, and we had no funding.
Yeah.
And so we worked, I can't tell you, countless numbers of years trying to get the bed tax passed.
Yeah.
And because I had gone through it in Brevard County, it didn't work until we found an end use that everybody could buy into.
Yeah.
Lifeguards was a good, So the first couple of times we tried it, the end uses, you just knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So finally, however it came about, we were able to get the bed tax passed. But prior to that, so a lady by the name of Terry Monahan worked for IRP.
Yep.
And she was kind of the tourism director of Martin County. She didn't work for, she worked for Indian River Plantation at the time.
Ah, okay. Yep.
But she was a volunteer. Ron Haven was another. He was involved in the tourism committee. But how much, and they did a great job. I remember we did, when you travel, what kind of a trip do they call that?
Oh.
When you travel to different areas and bring your brochures.
Oh, you would do consumer shows and trade shows.
I can remember going down to Miami, spending the night, visiting travel bureaus.
Travel agencies,
and saying, here's our brochures and things of that nature. And we really worked good because, pardon me, we saw a large influx of visitors coming from South Florida.
Yep.
So they had a name for it. I can't remember it at this time.
Usually something like a FAM tour.
FAM trip.
Familiarization tour,
We tried it in Orlando, by the way, it didn't work.
Okay.
It worked in Brevard County because they wanted, Orlando didn't have a beach. The beach was 50 miles from Orlando, so it worked in Brevard where they drove over, but it didn't work here. But the South Florida influx, it made a difference for our properties here. And so then we finally got the bed tax passed, and you have taken it to the sky. And I thank you for that. Really and truly, you have. I mean, obviously, take a look at how all of our properties are.
Yeah.
They're full. We have people on the beaches. And a lot of our residents don't like that.
I think sometimes there's a misunderstanding of the benefit. I mean, tourism is the lifeblood of Florida, and that's why we have no income tax.
That's why that's our budget.
That's our budget there. And here in Martin County, even the quality of life that we have is because of the influx of spending that comes in. As a whole, and I mean, you could kind of see it during COVID. I think people sort of kind of understood it when everything shut down. Our restaurants, our retail shops, and then the induced and the supplemental income. So if a restaurant can't open, then they're not taking their linen to a dry cleaner. They're not buying produce. They're not doing these things. I mean, it all kind of builds. It's a domino effect. So I know sometimes we get fussed at for bringing people down, but I'm like, we are not trying to be anything that we're not. We're authentic to what Martin County is. We have limited hotel rooms. And we bring people in, and we're able to share the quality of life that we have with visitors. They visit, they go back, and they have a wonderful time. So, I mean, it's a great industry because they're spending lots of money and helping our small businesses, and then they go about their way.
And a lot of them, not a lot of them, but some of them stay.
Well, I mean, a lot of them fall in love with the area, and then they start businesses. So when you look at all these other businesses, we have these really unique coffee shops and new retail that's coming in that our residents enjoy, are because people fell in love with the area.
And it's such an economic impact.
It's a huge economic engine.
It really, and as you say, that's our if we didn't have tourists come to the state of Florida, our sales taxes, it's our budget.
It's our budget.
And so it's and so many people don't understand it. They don't get it.
They don't understand it. And even if you look at just how Martin County, we follow an ordinance. So off the top, 45% goes to beaches and inlet. So that money that's coming in from people coming to visit us is going to our beach properties and beach restoration and beach nourishment, and then dredging of the inlet, which is a residential benefit because if you have a boat, you want to get in and out and you want access to the inlet. A lot of the fishing that takes place here needs access to the inlet. We pay $500,000 to help dredge the inlet every year. And then the other thing is 12% goes to tourism, sports marketing, but it also goes to improve the fields that people's kids play on. So we've added speakers to several of the fields. We've added internet. We've added scoreboards because we're able to bring in sports tourism. So we're able to justify spending that money on improvements because we're having tournaments or different championships that's come in. But if you have a kid here, they're able to take advantage of that as well and it's a higher quality of life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand. I can remember every couple of years, in fact, flying to Washington at one time to lobby for funding to dredge the inlet. The inlet was closed.
Yeah.
You couldn't go through. It was every year. It was just a disaster.
Yeah.
Because it was going to Tallahassee. It was lobbying. It was pleading and begging for money to dredge our inlet. Which, my God, what an economic impact that is.
That is.
I mean, thank God. So a lot of people don't realize the benefits because they just think it's another bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't get it. So do you travel to shows? Do you do shows?
We do, and we have a small budget. I mean, again, limited properties, and I think some people don't understand that we're paid off of bed tax. So when people come and stay in our hotels or short-term rentals, they pay a lodging tax. You pay it wherever you go, but that's how our office is funded. So we have a smaller budget because we have, again, limited properties, which is fine. And we take that bed tax, and we usually will work as the Treasure Coast. So we go with St. Lucie County and Indian River County.
So you share costs too?
We share the cost. It's a higher return on investment, and we work as the Treasure Coast, which is a stronger brand. And then we talk about what you can do in Indian River County, what you can do in St. Lucie County, and then what you can do here in Martin County. So we go to those big consumer shows, and we go to the travel agent shows. We actually have a travel agent training coming up as the Treasure Coast that Visit Florida is putting on, where we're going to be telling travel agents about the Treasure Coast.
So is that, obviously there's an ROI there. So is that where you're getting most of what we see coming to Martin County? Is it through these shows, or what's the main thrust?
Well, I think a lot of it is advertising, and we do a lot of different advertising. We change our strategy based seasonally. So you have your traditional print advertising, and some people want that print. They want a magazine. They're going to keep it. Print is not dead by any means, but a lot of it's digital advertising and then social media advertising as well. So I'd say a large portion are coming through the different advertising opportunities. And then we do inbound familiarization tours. So we bring travel writers down, we bring travel agents down, and we take them around and we show them all the things that you can do in Martin County, and then they write about it. So a lot of the awards that Stuart's received is because of the work we've done in bringing writers down. And it's a positive domino effect, if that's a thing, where, you tell one person about Martin County, they tell another person about...
Word of mouth.
And that's a lot of, you can see it with the media and the accolades. Like Stuart got Coastal Living's Happiest Seaside Town, then they got House Beautiful, then Oprah named them, then Esquire named them. And it's easier to find information on the destination once it gets out there. And we work with the writers a lot to tell them. Like we have a photographer, a Visit Florida photographer that's in town this week. Hopefully the weather stays really nice for the weekend, taking pictures. And then we'll be able to have access to those and showcase the different things that we have to do here.
I remember back in Brevard, they were doing fam trip for writers.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to fish, and the people were doing it and said, how about going fishing with taking one of the writers fishing? And so we chartered a boat, and we went out and took them out to Indian River Lagoon and fished in Haulover Canal and everything like that. And we got a lot of good publicity out of that. That I thought was very worthwhile. But
I'm going to write a note. Joe will take people fishing.
Yeah, I love to fish.
Okay,
so.
that's great.
I'm not as familiar here as I was in Brevard County because I had my own boat at one time and fished up there. But yeah, but that was it was beneficial.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of the benefit because obviously wherever they showed that, it was filmed, wherever they showed it, it showed my name, my phone number, and I got a lot of phone calls from people. Where do we fish? How can we fish?
Yeah.
Can we rent a boat? It just it creates interest. Yeah, but whatever you're doing, obviously, I know our hotels are their occupancy rates are wonderful, and I just had Ed Griffith on, and I mean even within 2 days after the COVID slowed down, they were back up. They were empty, and then all of a sudden they were back up to what they were expecting for occupancy. So, what is that? So, is that what you're going to say? The main thrust is the shows that you're doing, or
well, I think it's the shows and it's the
if you could point to
advertising.
one thing.
I think we have unique product, and I think it resonates with a lot of people. I mean, we go off the bat when we're talking to people, we're like, we have a 4-story height restriction, and they go, what? And I'm like, so you have scenic views throughout. We have over 100,000 acres of parks and conservation land. We have miles of uncrowded beaches, and people want that experience. And we have some amazing attractions, like if you've seen Florida Oceanographic with their new coastal center, the Elliott Museum. People go to the Elliott, and they're just blown away by the car collection and the innovative stuff that Rob and his team is doing. You have the Children's Museum, which is, I think, I'd put that up against any children's museum. And I have family that come in from Detroit, and they have 2 little ones, and they said we put this up against any children's museum we've been to because of the activities they're tailored for children.
So this is really it's really a targeted market because the party animal
no, it's
they
not
ain't coming
no.
here.
Mm-mm.
So the quality of visitor that we get are probably they're probably wealthy.
Yeah, I'd say we're lucky because we have hotel product that it can accommodate all ranges, and you have a lot of free activity. So we do get a very high affluent visitor who wants to come down and stay at the Shores or Marriott or Old Colorado or have a very luxurious experience. But then for a regular family, it's more affordable than South Florida.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you're
for
able
sure.
to have an affordable family vacation. You're able to go to the beach. There's no cost to go to the beach. There's no cost for parking. So it's really, we have so many, sometimes I say you hub and spoke, like you have so many different activities, and then you can go out to Indian Town and do any of the equestrian stuff in Palm City, and it's a complete different experience. So we're really lucky here, and I don't know, I know our residents know it because they love, you come here and you fall in love with it, but we're so lucky that we have such a diversity of product and so many talking points. Like after the pandemic, when you saw destinations trying to figure out what they were going to do, we just leaned into who we are. I mean, we didn't have to change marketing messaging. We didn't have to talk about, I laugh when you see some of the bigger destinations we're talking about. We have all this outdoor space, and I'm going, no, you don't. But okay. I was like, we just leaned into what we had.
Yeah.
So.
Again, that's a whole different kind of tourists.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so successful for our businesses, because they're not just party animals that come here. They're people who want to see the museums and things of that nature, and so most people who are not involved. How many times you hear people say, "What do you have to do here in Stuart?"
Oh my goodness!
There's nothing here to do.
We're not a tourism destination.
Yeah. And we had the best beaches. We're a half hour away from the best bass fishing lake in the country.
Exactly.
There's so many things, as you say, it's a hub. It could be used, and I imagine a lot of people.
They do them.
Yeah.
Hub and spoke. And then if you want to do something that's more, if you want to do the theme parks, or if you want to do, I always say, come make real memories here. Like, you have your bucket list. If you're coming to Florida, I have to do the parks or whatever. That's not a vacation. That's exhausting. I mean, I have 2 kids. Don't get me wrong. I love the parks. But after, you're just kind of like, so, come down and have a real vacation, make some real memories, and spend some quality time with your family here. And everyone's so friendly. I mean, they're really, we get that all the time. Everyone was so friendly. The shop owners in downtown
I
Stuart.
hear that all the time. And that's such a plus for I mean, how many times people go on vacations and are treated rudely by the locals? You know, it's a
bad taste in the mouth. Yeah, you don't want that.
I can remember years ago, especially West End of the Bahamas was horrible. You had to almost beg to be waited on in a restaurant, and then all of a sudden there was a change in government and things improved.
Yeah,
and it was all about attitude, and so when you don't have to worry about that and deal with that, you've got it here. That's a staple. Yeah. That's a great product.
Benefit.
Great benefit. So, how long have you been in the tourism industry?
Oh, as a whole, so I was with the state of Georgia for 13 years doing a variety of things. Before that, I worked at a hotel for a couple of years. And then before that, I was in the Virgin Islands, which is where I'm from, with the Office of the Governor. I was the special assistant to the First Lady, and my job there was helping her with the dignitaries. It was more on the economic development. It was a nice job. The dignitaries, we would take them out and show them around, because you wanted them to invest in infrastructure or a new hotel property, or some kind of new marina or something. So we were showing them around. So hospitality, when you grow up on an island, that's the only economy. It's kind of ingrained in your DNA. So definitely over 13 years. I'm aging myself. A lady's never supposed to say how. Over 20 years. Lady's never supposed to.
You started when you were 10.
I did. That's right.
Had a head start.
I have a son just graduated from Martin High.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
congratulations.
thanks, yeah.
Next thing you know, we'll be getting married.
Oh, no. He's got to finish up his schooling and figure out what he wants to do.
Yeah, I get that. Is there, and I ask this of everyone, because, again, I try to do a diverse area of the economy. Is there any, obviously there's been huge changes in the industry.
Yeah.
Can you talk about them and what you see in the future in the industry that is going to make it better or easier to travel to?
Easier to travel, I think, that's a good question. So we get a lot of individuals from in-state, so we kind of have that box checked. We are watching gas prices and inflation because that does impact if somebody's going to spend money to, for their basic survival needs, or to travel, which is seen as a luxury type item. So we're watching that, and we're cognizant of that. So I know we have a sales tax holiday coming up in October. As the Treasure Coast, we're looking at what we can do to kind of lean into that. So I think that's an opportunity and a challenge being positioned where we are, to lean in more to our, like you said, South Florida or Central Florida or other more populated Florida areas, because Floridians want a nice vacation too, and we offer that. Making it easier, I think technology helps a lot. It's easier to plan your trip. It's easier to get information. It's easier to be inspired with Instagram and all those social media channels. So I think that makes it easier for people to see what you have to offer, and that intrigues them to want to come visit.
So I've never been a big traveler, but prior to COVID, we have a bunch of guys, and we travel to play golf and gamble and whatever. We go to Vegas and we go to the Bahamas or Mississippi.
Yeah.
And so once COVID hit, I stopped flying. So I hadn't flown until last month.
Okay.
My granddaughter got married
Congratulations.
Thank you, in Austin, Texas. All I want to do is talk to somebody about my airline reservation. That's gone. You can't talk to anyone. It's a 35-minute hold. It's a 45-minute hold. Leave your number, we'll call you back. And then I made reservations for my daughter and my grandchildren who live in Europe, and I had to make reservations for them to fly from New Jersey to here. It was another nightmare.
Yeah.
So technology is great. I always say I'm technically challenged. And so it was so frustrating to me. Like I said, all I wanted to do is be able to talk to somebody and say I had to make a change or whatever. It was nightmarish dealing. So do you hear that, or is it just me?
Well, I think it just depends on. I mean, you were booking a complicated trip, and you had to be there at a certain time. You had a schedule that you were trying to follow, get to that wedding and stuff. So I think there's the frustration there: is am I going to make it? The airlines are canceling and stuff like that. We don't really hear too much of that. And again, our job is to inspire individuals to come down and to travel. So we're not on that booking end of stuff. I know this year we did something really unique in Atlanta's a great market for us because they come down and they stay a little longer. They're very friendly also. So, we invite them down. But Palm Beach International Airport actually went in with us and sponsored this promotion that we're doing in Atlanta, and the Hutchinson Shores went in, and so we're giving away a trip to come down here.
Nice.
So I think we're lucky with having Palm Beach International as our closest airport because they are
I'm
so
prejudiced.
easy. Yeah.
They're the best airport in the world.
I agree.
They are unbelievable.
Unbelievable service.
Oh my God.
And it's so easy. And they also have, I forgot how many daily direct flights to and from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how that works. We're tracking that right now. It's a summer-long promotion where we're talking about.
I had to go from PBI to Atlanta to Austin.
Yeah. One trip.
Airports were like, I never saw so many. I had a flight out of Austin at 6:30 a.m. I had to be at the airport at 4:35. I didn't think there was anybody going to be there.
It's full. I think the challenge is that we're all seeing across the board is the labor force. And you're seeing that
sure.
within hospitality and transportation and them having to cancel flights because they just don't have the workforce.
Yeah.
And so I think that's an interesting, I know you're doing some great programs at the Chamber to train individuals. So its workforce is a challenge in the hospitality industry.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's across the
Marissa,
board.
honestly, it's printers, it's manufacturers, it's everybody. But I know the hospitality industry. But my conversation with Ed, I learned and didn't realize that. And I've told people you have to step up your game.
Yeah.
This isn't 1950 Florida anymore. You can't hire anybody for $2 an hour because it's Florida. Get into this century. You need to step up your game. And I was surprised when Ed said to me, because our program, Career Connect, we pay $15 an hour. How many hospitality industries offer $15 as an entry level? They do.
Yeah.
So it may not be for everybody,
No.
but those people who aren't there, they need to step up their game.
Yeah.
Because we all know, I guess, is it 24 where the minimum wage is going to be $15 an hour,
Everyone,
whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you got to figure out ways to do it, get innovative.
And we all know, anybody that's in business knows that gets passed off to the consumer anyway. So step up your game.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Yeah. So anything you would like to talk to, anything else that we may have missed or you'd like to hit on?
I don't think so. I think, tourism is really important to our economy. We have plenty of things to do here in Martin County. Our website's discovermartin.com, where we have a list of activities. If anybody watching has an event that's open to a tourist, so I'm not sure. We get a lot of charitable events that has a residential focus, but a tourist can come, like golf tournaments. That's a great example. So if you're doing a charity golf tournament and you're playing on Loblolly or some of these amazing courses, but a visitor could come in and do that, put that on our webpage. Our webpage, you go in and you can add any kind of special offer. You can add any events that are taking place, because we get a lot of usage on our website for people looking for stuff to do. Like, what do I do? I'm coming to this area. What's going on? Oh, what are the special offers? If you're running a happy hour special, put that on the website. I mean, there's no cost to do any of that. So I think that's
great idea.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if we do that, but I'm going to find out if we do or not. And
It's a lot. I know there's so many different places, but there's no cost, and we know we get our last. I'm trying to think of the report came in. The traffic, we get a lot of traffic on that website because it's everywhere. That's in all of our advertising. So put your information there, especially if it's got any kind of visitor accessibility, any kind of visitor opportunity there.
Like you said, a golf tournament is a good example. We have a business show coming up. I'll make sure we talk to staff about that.
Yeah, just go on
we may be already doing it, I don't know.
So it comes in waves. You'll see people put stuff on, and then people get busy with other stuff. And we try to put all the events that we can find, but we're a small staff too.
Mm-hmm.
So you just go to the events tab and hit submit an event. It comes to us, and then we approve it on the back end. Basically, is it in Martin County? If it's somewhere else, we love you, but you're not going to be on our website.
Right. and we have a community calendar that our members could go to and post stuff, but
it's hard. I mean, it's such a benefit for businesses, and it at night, when you're watching TV, go in and add events to these event calendars. Add your stuff to the chamber. Add your stuff to the tourism site.
Getting the word out.
Get
That's
the word
what it's
out.
all about.
Yeah, and you're watching TV. You can multitask. We all do. Especially COVID taught us anything. We're all kind of all over the place with stuff.
We had to diversify, didn't we?
Exactly. Yeah. But no, I think that's it. And thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And you're one of the first people I met with when I came, so it's so good.
And thank you for what you do.
I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. We're got great support. The county administrator and the Board of County Commissioners is very supportive of what we do, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, you couldn't do it without,
we couldn't.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So, well, have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too.